Hello everyone, welcome to Behind the Scenes Self-Help Voices. I'm your host, Irong. As we enter April, we are celebrating National Volunteer Month. This month, we'll bring you some stories of volunteers. Our guest today is Josh. He is one of the members of our partner musicians encore and likes different types of music and songs. And he lives in Los Angeles, and we are now talking online. Welcome, Josh.
Hi, thank you. Good to be here.
So first, can you introduce yourself and tell us about what you teach at the Virtual Senior Center?
Sure. As you said, my name is Josh. I have been a musician my entire life, and music is what I actually bring to service here. I grew up, I have a family of musicians. My dad was a band director for our local high school and a music director at the church. My mom played the drums. So ever since I could hold something, they were putting instruments in my hand. So music has been like really the key component of who I am through most of my life. Was really happy during that time to be able to find some places I could volunteer and I could take music and play with other people. So it's been a really beautiful way for me to be able to get to continue to share music and keep that part of me.
Thank you for your introduction. In the past, we also had a conversation with the other volunteer who is also in the musician's encore. And I remember that the partnership brings him here. So can you tell us what brought you to the VSC and why did you decide to volunteer?
In 2018, towards the end of my time in advertising, I was not happy with the career that I was in. I was missing community. And I found that the one thing, the very best thing you can do if you're feeling bad is to serve other people. I found Musicians on Call. I think I literally saw an advertisement in a magazine. And I said, oh my gosh, this is so cool. At that point in time, Musicians on Call was something that you would take. I would go into an actual hospital with my guitar and with a guide, and I would play music to people face to face. I never left one of those without just feeling grateful to be able to serve these people. It was so beautiful. And as the COVID-19 pandemic hit, they switched to a virtual mode. At some point, I got an email that the Virtual Senior Center, through a partnership with Musician on Call, was looking for additional people to host classes. I was really hungry to continue playing music and supporting people. And when I found out that this was in like a Zoom where I'm able to actually see everybody and interact, I knew I had to do it. As soon as I heard about it and I met with the team about what the opportunity was, I'm like, this is the best thing I've ever heard of. So excited to be able to come on and be able to actually share the music, because I think it's one thing to have the performance, it's another to have the conversation. And I can see, oh, everybody in this class started singing along when I played a show tune. I'm going to play more show tunes. Or this class, somebody asked me for some rock and roll song from the 70s. I'm able to have more of a conversation with them, which I really, really, really value. And since it's often a lot of the same people, there's a little bit of a relationship that we get to develop and check in on people from week to week. So it's kind of this community I get to be a part of that I really had no idea I was going to even get to do. I was just happy to bring music, and I've ended up leaving with all these extra friends now. It's really beautiful.
That's so good. I'm also happy that music is still like the exit of your life. I'm also glad that you bring your music to this community. Thank you for your work and music. Camilla told me that you like to add the history of the song in your class. So can you tell us what your class is about and how did you decide on this topic?
I have titled my class Songs Across Time. I'm really so lucky to have people who are willing to listen to me, because I feel like I'm such a nerd when it comes to music. James Taylor, for example, recorded his very first album in Apple Studios, which was owned by the Beatles. He was one of the Beatles' first artists that they were supporting. And some of his songs, through the lyrics, not directly, he references them and references how he's feeling being with these legends to make this music, and how a lot of times it just makes him feel like he wants to go home to Carolina. And I'm laughing at it because for me, I find that out and I'm fascinated and I just want to learn more and read more. But it actually ends up working really well for these songs because actually everybody seems very interested to learn some of the background. And what's been really fun for me on sharing those is often I can segue from one song into the next. So I'll play a Beatles song, I can share that story, and then I can go into a James Taylor song or vice versa. Having something where I can both play music, talk about the songs, talk about the artists, why I love them, why they're maybe important to music overall, has just been something where I'm really passionate about it. When people are coming in to do a class like this, for the people who have come back every week, they enjoy that aspect of the storytelling side. I think it brings it a little bit more into a conversation as well, because a lot of people are like, I didn't know that he did that, or I didn't know that that artist also performed with them. Now it's like a real bit of, here's my personality, here's what excites me about some of the music that I'm singing.
I totally understand it. And also the members in the past, the way they received the message is from the broadcast or the television, not so fast paced like now. I understand storytelling needs some feedback and interactions. So yeah, I think this is a very beautiful story. You use your free time to volunteer. So how do you usually prepare for your class and balance your time?
One more point on the last bit is that feedback is so important, and it does go both ways. I've played songs before where I'm like, they're going to really like this song. I know that they're going to like this one because it was on the radio in 1957 or whatever, and I play it and nobody nods their head, nobody sings along. I am taking notes mentally about what is making people excited. There's probably 4 people that I have specific songs that I do every single week because I love their reaction to those songs. So I will always keep those songs in my mix. And then the next thing is, like, as we go, often I'll ask them if there are songs that they like or something they would like me to include. My research between these classes is to continue to find more songs that I can play. Sometimes they'll even ask for, like, can you do this song? I'm like, I'll try. So I'm going to practice this one, try to find a new key for it or whatever I might need. So my preparation for the class is mostly in taking my feedback from the prior classes. What songs did they love? Find more like that. Which ones did they not really respond to? Move away from those ones. And the thing that has been really fun is they actually respond to the songs that I've written. My thing is called Songs Across Time. So it really is meant to include songs that could have been written at any time, even if I wrote it 3 days ago. I've written multiple love songs for my wife, for example, and those ones, I'll tell the story about what was going on at that time, why I wrote the song, how I wrote it. And even a song like that gets them interested, which just warms my heart to be able to share that. It's really simple. Like, I just prepare for each event by kind of trying to make a list of maybe 20 songs that I think will fit in that day, and have those songs accessible so that when we get started, I have a few different paths that I can go down. If everybody's really upbeat, I want to match that. I want to play some upbeat songs and get people moving. It's something that I try to match all of those. So that's really it. I'm just having the songs available to be able to pick and choose in real time.
Depend on the conditions and also depend on their interest to prepare this content. That's so good. And also some of our members really fond of music, and also you just mentioned some parts of your class and how you interacted with them. So do you have any memories or moments from teaching?
Probably the thing that's the most meaningful to me, and I've played songs before where there was one of my very favorite regulars who's been at almost every single session that I've done. She is also a singer in her past, and she did some local theater. And I played a song from The Music Man. We got to talking about musical theater, and she was telling me about some of the musicals that she's been in. And some of the rest of the class is talking to her about that. The next week she comes and she has some pictures that she's ready to share from 30 years ago or 40 years ago when she was in this musical. She gets that ability to share her story a little bit with her peers, these people who maybe otherwise wouldn't have known this about her. And she gets to take me back in time with her, which was so cool to be able to see that picture, to hear her story, hear her talk about the songs that she did there. Anytime that the performance breaks through to where somebody feels like they want to open up something personally to the group, it just makes me so warm in the heart. Definitely the most lovely thing that can happen. I guess the other memories are just like sometimes they send really nice feedback, which is really sweet, or they're very complimentary, and I am a normal human at the end of a session say something like, "This one was so good, you sounded wonderful," or that makes me feel really warm and nice too.
You bring the stories to this community. The older adults also have so many stories that can tell you this is a very beautiful connection and relationship. Volunteering and also this feedback makes you feel so good. And I'm glad that you have this great memory.
Every once in a while, I get an email after a session and it just says, "Hey, a lot of the people had positive things to say. Here's what they said." And there will be a list of 4 or 5 people that are like, "Josh was so wonderful today." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" It reminds me. It's like I'm performing for family. Like it really, really feels like a. I mean, this is cheesy, but it feels like a warm hug. It's lovely. But sometimes it's funny. Sometimes anytime they submit feedback, it's always good, at least whatever gets back to me. But in real time, I'll play a song and I might say something like, "Oh, that was kind of out of my vocal range. I feel like I was maybe a little bit too flat." And sometimes they'll give me the feedback that I was right. Right, that one wasn't the best, and I love that too. Any kind of feedback is a gift, so I'll take on both sides.
That's so cute. Through those stories and also what you said, I can really feel your passion. Thank you so much for sharing these things with us. Is there anything else you'd like to share about your time as a volunteer?
I was so happy to be brought into this community. I've set it a goal to make sure that I'm doing a minimum 1 class a month, ideally 2 classes a month. I'm so very thankful for this opportunity. It's really, the weeks that I do it, it's one of the best parts of my week. And I know growing up, my parents always made a point to give back, to volunteer. And a lot of times that was with music and time, and taking our time to go in as a family and play songs at a nursing home or at other community areas like that. So for me to be able to virtually step into people's homes who otherwise might not be able to go into those places where they can have that community and be a part of it is really one of the most beautiful parts of my life.
Thank you so much for your words. And also thank you so much for joining our community and bring your music, bring your stories. I'm glad that you have these feedback gifts and your stories from our members. Thank you so much again for joining me and recording it together. This is the end of the episode and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening. If you're interested in any topics, you can leave a comment or find us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Hope you all have a great day, and we'll see you next time.